Hello everybody. Hi everyone, and welcome to this second day of our Boom Learning Back to School Symposium 2023. My name is Janice Rosado. I'm a customer success specialist here in Boom Learning. I am also a former special education teacher, currently doing my master's in school psychology. So I'm happy to be here with you all. Thank you for joining us. And in today's section, this is the first section of the day, we'll be showing you 15 ways to use boom cards. So it can be either for therapy if you're a therapist, or for your classroom if you're a teacher, or any way you want. So first things first, we'll be having, let me double check here. Yeah, so we have a chat box where you can add any comments that you have, and if you have any questions, we do have a Q&A box where you can put those questions, and we'll be having a live Q&A at the end. So I'll be answering those questions from the Q&A box. So if you have any questions for me, just put them in the Q&A box. We'll be also sharing a feedback form at the end. This is super important for us. We always read those. And yeah, you will find those in the webinar chat. So thank you all for joining. Good morning. The agenda for today is we're doing an intro, explaining the goals of this presentation. I'm going to show you what boom cards are briefly. 15 ways to use boom cards, of course, and then we'll be going to the live Q&A. So first, I want to ask you all, thank you for the ones that are commenting. Hi from Nashville, Bellingham, Panama City, Florida. Hi. Hi from Puerto Rico. I'm in Puerto Rico right now. Pennsylvania. Hello, everybody. So Denver. So I want to ask you all, so I'm going to be showing you 15 ways to use boom cards. So I'm not going to teach you literally how you can use them. I'm just going to give you ideas, and then you can just use it as you want. So I want to ask you all, if you've been using boom cards, what is your favorite type of activity that you use boom cards? So for those of you who don't know, or if you're thinking, what? So it will be like a flashlight deck, if it's a memory game, if it's a hidden image, escape rooms, all that kind of decks. So yeah, here we have French phonics, memory games. Thank you, Laura. I love escape rooms and the flashlight ones. My students and my patients love those. For math practice, this will be the first year using boom cards. Yay! That's amazing. So here you'll learn how different ways to use it. Phonemic awareness for my special education class. It's interactive. Speech, articulation, ELA topics, science stations. Ooh, love that. Fill in the blank, multiple choice, amazing. Grammar and vocabulary practice for Spanish students, great. Dyslexia, love that. Math practice, that is amazing. Drag and drop, sure, like that's a favorite for all of our students. So thank you all for sharing that. Here, I'm going to be showing you how you can use all of those decks. So those are different type of decks that you can use. I'm going to show you how you can use them in your therapy or your classroom. So the goals for this webinar or presentation is for you to know what boom cards are, learn different ways you can use them for teaching or therapy, or other ways I'll be showing you, and reflect on how you can start integrating gamification into your teaching process. So those are the goals of this presentation. Let's just go ahead and show you what boom cards are. So why are we doing this? We do read the feedback form. And in yesterday's feedback, we received a lot of people saying, this is our first time I'm using boom cards. I don't know what boom cards are. what are boom cards. So that is why I'm showing you really quick what boom cards are, for those of you who don't know, and for those of you who know, you can comment anything in the chat, any positive about boom cards. So what are boom cards? Really quick, boom cards are self-grading learning games. They give the student instant feedback. You can personalize assignments, and they give you instant reports to the teacher or the educator. So here we're seeing like the students playing one of our favorite decks in Boom right now. Let me show you real quick. This is an example.
Move the bunny on the number line to solve the equation.
As you can see, you can add sound to boom cards to differentiation for students who struggle with reading, etc. So this is like addition one. And what the student do is just like move the bunny, like jump, and then fill in the blank typing. So let's say I just added 8. Oops. Nope, that is not correct. It gives the student that instant feedback. And then when they got it correct, says yes and move to the next card. So this is like super simple example of what boom cards are. After the student plays, the teacher or the educator receive that detailed report of how the student did. So yeah, that is an example of what boom cards are. And here is one quote of one of our publishers, Della Larson, and she says, boom cards engage students by making them feel like they're playing a game. No wonder kids beg me for more. The instant feedback students receive informs their learning and increases understanding. So, and it is super important to keep in mind that it is not only for elementary level. We have for high school, we have for middle school, we have people that are in college right now doing reviews or something like that in boom cards. So you can think about it in many, many ways. So here I'm going to be showing you some examples, but it is up to you to reflect how you can use them in your learning process. So now we're going over to ways to use boom cards. And the first one is as a whole class instruction. So here I love that image in the background. It is like a teacher with a mystery picture deck, and there I believe this was a rhyming. Yeah, it was like a rhyming deck, and they'll just go like which rhymes with bat, and they will have mat or bed or something like that, and they will click and an image will be appearing in the background. So yeah, you can use it for whole class instruction. So for introducing a new skill, so pro tip, do this with a game style deck like the one that I just showed you, or the one that is on the background right now. And also for boom review. So this is how Tiffany from Crafty in Kinder uses boom card. She added like boom review, and it's like a whole group review after learning a new skill. So here we have a little girl. So keep in mind, you don't need a smart board. You can be creative. So here we have teenagers playing in a smart board, but here we have a little kid playing with a projector. So in this case, the teacher will be projecting, and she can just like select which option the student selected in the whiteboard, and then they can have that instant feedback also. And here I'm going to be showing you a video. Here you can see this is the student that is actually like clicking the options while the entire class is just screaming the answers. So that's a way that you can use boom cards. It's a whole class instructions. That's the first one. Now moving to the second one, it is small groups or centers. And I love also that photo in the background is showing the kids I'm playing with the boom cards in a small group. And here also you can use it for practice, to review a skill, and provide different levels of support to students. And we do this when we do like the centers or the small groups based on the level of difficulty, etc. So here is an example of how one of our teachers use it for centers. She will put math center and add the QR code. And then the student with the iPad or tablet, in this case, they will just scan the QR code and start playing the deck. So, and here you can see she have other activities that I'll be showing you in the next slides. But yeah, this is how you can use them for small groups or centers. So ELA centers, science centers, like anything that you would like. Number 3, we have bell ringers or morning work. So how many of you use bell ringers in your classroom? I want to see in the chat. I see Robin, Jody, Kayla, Angela. I use bell ringers. Marcy, Ava. That's good. That's good to know. So you can use boom cards for your bell ringers. That's good. Thank you, Mari Carmen. And so, bell ringers is to get students thinking, and it's good when they go over from class to class. So this is one way that one of our publishers use boom cards for bell ringers. And let me open it right now. Here's like my library of text for this presentation. So here is like one, let me see. I like this one, let's say. So it's like riddles, and it will be, why are ghosts bad at lying? And so this is like the confidential file. So slide up, and it will be because you can see right through them, or kind of that stuff. So this is one of the ways she used bell ringers with boom cards in the classroom. And another way is just reviewing the previous skill. So let's say from the day before or something. So for example, this was used as a bell ringer, and the day before they were teaching fact and opinion. So here we have a student playing a deck as a bell ringer. So as you can see, it gives them calm. And here we have Mendoza saying, bell ringers typically consist of questions or prompts related to the concepts currently discussed in class. So in this case, the day before, they were talking about fact and opinion. So this is one way you can use it. Oh yeah. One way you can use it for bell ringers or morning work. Now, moving to number 4, it will be calendar or morning routine. So for all of you who use this type of calendar, and you have available like a projector or a laptop, computer, whiteboard, smartboard, all that stuff, you can use boom cards and you can digitalize those, and you can have it in your board, but you can also assign it to students so they can do that routine every morning when they get to your classroom. So you can have a calendar with date, weather. Oh, here's an example. Date. Let me just put it on mute. Date, weather, hello car, how are you doing today? Feelings card, agenda, all that kind of stuff. A lot of teachers also add in this one like a check-in. So kind of like the hello card, but there will be like an actual check-in, like, how are you doing today? How are you feeling? Like, what are you expecting from my class today? Kind of that stuff. So you can do that with boom cards. Now, number 5, for formative assessment. And so how would you use it? So student can practice, and then the teachers can see the data and offer support before a test, which is super important to identify those students that are struggling, those students that are ready to move on. And so here, Lauren from A Teachable Teacher says, you will get a score immediately and know who needs more practice with the sound and who has mastered the sound, and it is ready to move on to the next skill. So you can assign those boom cards, and see which one is struggling and which one is not, which one is ready to move on. And they can practice as many times as they want. So that's another thing. Another way you can use it for formative assessment. You can assign any type of text, or you can just send them a FastPlay link. If you, let's say you don't have a Essentials account, which is the one that allows you to receive feedback or the data, you can assign like a FastPlay link, and they can just practice and practice. And because it is formative, you may not need the data. So you can, that's how you use it for formative assessment. Now, summative assessment. You can also use boom cards for summative assessment. And you can have quizzes. You can have tests. They can be for the end of unit work. So it will assess student performance. So here is an example of a deck that a teacher is using as a test. So here it will be like multiple choices. They'll just select, and then the teacher will receive that data of how the student did. So they can just like download that data or just transfer it. Right now we have that you can download the data as a CVS file. And also, so you can copy and paste the data. And also you can print this page that will look like this. So it will be like, if you're more visual, it will be good for you to have that. So you will receive that. And also we have some custom play settings for our decks, where you can tell Boom Learning to not show an answer if the student surrenders, or to not allow multiple plays. So let's say you're using this as a summative assessment, as a test, and you're like, we're not playing multiple times, you're not changing your score, you will be only playing one time. So here's where you'll go, custom play settings, changing to only one time, and you'll receive that data. So you don't have to spend time scoring. So that is good. Now, let me see if I added that deck here. Yes. So here we have it. It's like ELA test, also for test prep. Begin.
Sometimes young.
So here it will be like, yeah. Am I looking good? It's saying my internet is unstable. Hopefully
We just got you back. You disappeared.
Oh. Okay. I was like, oh no. Okay. And then yeah, this is how she used it. So it's like multiple choice, but it's actually a test. They're only playing once, and they can receive that instant feedback, and like autocorrect themselves, but the teacher will be receiving the first attempt. So you will have the actual score that the student got. So that's how you use it for summative assessment. So moving on. Number 7, for all of those specialists, all of those special education teachers, general education that work with special education teachers, you can use boom cards for IEP Goal Monitoring. And so here you can align IEP goals with boom cards. And so here's an example of how one of our special education teachers, who just she did a webinar with us, I think 2 years ago. And she teaches how she create boom cards that align with the IEP goal, to then recollect the data and have that evidence. So here the goal is by September of 2022, Bella will tell times the half hour on an analog clock with 80% accuracy. So here you can see she have the analog clock, and then she have the digital clock, and that the student can select. So you can always change this, like how the student is going to respond. Let's say they have any accommodations, you can change it. You can personalize this with the student needs. So then you'll be receiving like I was telling you, reports with all the data that you need, and the reports actually tell you the accuracy or the mastery or the mastery that the student got. And so there you can show that, and you can show the progress of the student. So here, let's say the first one, as you can see, he had like a couple of incorrect here, and also like half of what he got the second time they play it. So you'll receive that. Like I mentioned, you can export the data for the IEP meeting, and super important, I believe most of IEPs have how are parents going to know the progress of the student, of their child, or the son or daughter. So here, parents can monitor the student progress. How? They can have access to the student account, and they can see how well they are doing. So the teacher doesn't have to be constantly telling them, oh, he got this, he got this, he got this, he's doing like this. They can know how the student is doing by looking at that student page, the reports, and all that stuff. So that's how you use it for IEP goal monitoring. We can have an entire section about this. We do have the webinar about how that teacher use it. So you can go to our YouTube channel and learn more about that if you're a special education teacher or you work with IEPs. So number 8, as a reinforcer. So here I love this photo that the student is like super happy. And you can use it as a reinforcer with game-like decks like build a scene, escape rooms, hidden image or picture, the one that I show you, quest in the castle tomorrow, with the SOP, or is it today? I'm not sure. But in the SOP section, we'll be having one of our SOP explaining how she used that with the students. So just in case you're interested, you can have a bingo, you can have a flashlight day, you can do trivia. So all of those things help a lot for reinforcement, and this is one of my favorite ones. So here also you can see you can add other stuff with boom cards, and the student is like, oh my god, super engaged doing that. And here I'm going to show you this one, because this is one that I use in my therapy section, and my students love it, even though it is like Valentine's Day theme. Let me see if this downloads my internet. Okay. Yeah, even though it is for Valentine's Day, my students love it. It's like, please, let's play this. So here it's like build a monster, and they can just select anything they want. They can put like 4 or 5 eyes. They can do like a big mouth, like anything they want here. And that could be like as a reinforcer after the student completed something. So that is one way. We also have this amazing deck by David Sindri from like Trolling a Ball. And so this is a game where they like take cards, and underneath they'll have an item, like clothing item, and the first one who finish an outfit wins. So they have like 2 teams here, and it is really good also for students. So you can use it as a reinforcer, also. So that's number 8. Tiffany is asking, what was the name of that reinforcer game? You said, okay, I have the list here. So here, the Valentine's Day one is build a Valentine's monster. It is actually like an SOP, like a speech therapy game, or like actual activity. But yeah, and then the other one, the outfits one, it is here. It is dress up, mess up, the reinforcer by David Sindri. So those are really good decks. If someone can put it in the chat, Carrie or Kyle, that would be amazing. So thank you for asking that, Tiffany, for everyone to know. So yeah, that's how you can use it. Sure. Now, number 9, for homework. And you're like, really, homework? Yes, for homework. So student can access boom cards anywhere. If they're in the doctor, if they're in the mall, if they're in their house, in the grandparents' house, anywhere they can access. They need to have access to a device, so computer, laptop, phone, that kind of stuff, and then also internet connection. So, but it gives the student the opportunity to practice skills at home. So here's, for example, this is Stu's daughter, and she's playing like in the car, and she's just like playing, but she's actually doing homework. And that is what is amazing with boom cards, is that they will be learning, but they won't notice because they're playing a game. So here's like a girl like just chilling in her bed, just doing homework. And so one tip that Andy from French with the Hubs is like, she tells the student that they will earn points for playing. So they will earn points, let's say for a reinforcer, or let's say for, I don't know, a gift or something, or like Friday, Pizza Friday or something like that. And so what she will do is at least 2 times. So play at least 2 times. So she will assign the deck, and then the student as a homework will be playing. And in the reports, you can see here in place, you can see how many times the student played the deck. So here you can see like 1, 2, 3, like how many times the student play it. And so that's how you can do. That's like a tip or idea that you can do to, motivate the students to do homework. So, and again, this is for all levels. You can do this for elementary, middle school, high school, for everyone. So now moving on to number 10, we have workshops. So this is what I'm doing. I don't know if you noticed, but I'm actually using book cards to show you this presentation. So I've used this before and everyone loves it, because what I do is I'll have interactive things in the presentation, and I will have them come up into the either smart board or whiteboard or anything that I mentioned before, and I'll have them interact with me, and I don't need to be like opening other pages or something. I just have it there. So that is one way you can use it. For a presentation, you can also assign slides. They can take them, they can take with them. So I have an example here. Going to show you real quick. Okay, classes. All of this is not real data. So yeah, so here's like an example of one of workshop that I did. And so what I did is I created accounts for them with their names, and then I just assigned them what I was doing, like the actual decks that I was doing. So this was like a brain break workshop. It is in Spanish because I live in Puerto Rico. And so what I did was that, but another thing you can do is just have the classroom open, and they can create their own accounts, and they will receive that those documents or assignments that you have. I didn't did that for this presentation or the next thing that I'm going to talk about, because you were a lot of people. So yeah, we have over 500 people. So I was like, you guys are going to explode, like my boom account. So yeah, that's why I didn't did that for this one, but I've done it in the past. I'll continue doing it in the future. But one thing that you can assign is pre and post test. So I do this, and I have that data so I can see if I need to give that data to any, I don't know, like manager or something. I have that. And also you can add a feedback survey. So you can do that from there. And I don't know if you saw, but here I have another idea of how you can use boom cards. So can you guys tell me if you notice here, another way you can use boom cards? Tell me in the chat, I'll be seeing here. We have for workshops. You can do a presentation, you can assign a decks, you can have a feedback survey, you can have one more thing. Is it difficult? Poll? Good. Okay. Yeah, that's totally true. Oh, give us a clue. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Slides I could do with them. True. Yeah. So presentation, you can assign the decks, you can have a feedback survey, and perfect. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Debbie. Yeah, test. So that's the next one. It will be pre and post tests or diagnostic tests. So this is one way you can use boom cards also. So like I told you before, you can just set it up to play only one time. And then you can have it at the beginning of an assignment and then or of a unit and then at the end. So here I added, you can assign a deck to see where the student is at the beginning of a skill and then assign it again at the end of a unit to see the progress. And here I added again this photo where you can see this was the pre-test and then we have the post-test. So, and here, this is the pre-test and it is again in Spanish, one of the pre-tests that I did. And it was just like a true or false pre-test. So, and then I received the data that I can see. Oh, okay, you guys already know this. Okay, I can continue with the next one, that kind of stuff. So you can use that in boom cards. I'm going to show you. I think I have it here to show you real quick. Yeah, it will be in Spanish, but yeah, this is one of the tests that the pre-test that I did. I have the instructions and then I have like true or false. So this is one way I can use it. I added that border just to have it a little bit of color, but you can do it as serious as you want also. So just in case. So that's how you can use it for pre and post test. Now, number 12, one of my favorite ways to use boom cards as a school psychologist or, well, future school psychologist is as brain breaks and movement breaks. So as you may know, this have been like really popular in the last years, but brain breaks are super important for the students' brains to recharge and reconnect. So here I added this quote from OT from Schools, and this is the video that we're having. And she says, children need to move to learn. A movement break can help children to regulate and refocus before or following periods of seated work. Movement breaks provide essential input into the sensory system in order to positively affect our ability to concentrate, listen to instruction, and feel calm and alert for learning. So just in case you weren't applying brain breaks or movement breaks into your classroom, you can do that with boom cards. So no prep at all, just look for movement breaks or brain breaks or yoga. We have everything in the boom store. So you can look for that and you can start implementing those in your classroom. So I'm going to continue with the next one because I have more examples that I use and that it works a lot with my students, and it is like deep breathing. So I created this one. Look at it. Yeah, here. This is like the one that I added, brain break. And then I have like this timer so we don't have to think about the time. And then it will be like breathe in through your nose, hold, breathe out, or in this case, hold. So I added like this, like draggable items so they can use it to just like have that sensory input also. So we have different ways to do it. So this is like the hand breathing technique. And I also added like audio so they can have that relaxed sound and then do the breathing techniques and have that brain break. Another brain break that I really love is the freeze and dance. This one I won't show because it has audio, but it is like a freeze dance game where I add my boom cards, and when they said dance, we'll have the sound or the music and we'll all dance in the classroom, and then I'll just move it and then say freeze, and everyone freeze. So that's another way. And yeah, because you can add audio, you can add GIFs. So in this one, I added GIFs that are just like people dancing and that stuff. Also, one of my student favorite. They asked me for this one every single day, and it was, what's the sound? Look it in the boom store. They just have to hear a sound and then say what it is. Dance, freeze, like I mentioned, Simon Says, all that stuff. Number 13, I'm going to have 10 minutes for Q&A. But yeah, number 13 is extra work or differentiation. So we all have those early finishers, right? So you can assign based on levels of difficulty or ability, and you can assign individually. So let's say, you know, this student that always finish first, and they're like, I'm bored or something. You can assign right away. It's like, oh, okay, here you go. And I added this photo so you can see. You can go to the specific student, click the drop-down menu, and then assign. And you will only assign a deck to that specific student. So this is good also for differentiation, also for, let's say you have another language learner or something. This is super good for extra work or differentiation. And now for behavior management. So you can take this as you want to. We know this is, this could be like a, I don't know, like a sensitive topic, but for all of you who work with behavior, we have many things in the boom store that are super different and that can help you with behavior management. So here, the first one that I will recommend is just routines and have agendas. So this is one that I created for my students, and when I'm doing one-on-one. And so they need that. And when they have that routine, when they have that agenda, that they know what they're going to do, some behaviors can, you know, go down. So this is a good way to manage behavior. Also, like social stories, which I love, that I mentioned yesterday, the SEL section. Also social skills game. This is like, is this a good behavior? Is this not a good behavior? Positive reinforcement. This will go up with your or expected behavior or good behavior. And then token boards or system, we have that. For example, we have one here. Everyone think about token boards as something like it is probably like, oh, I don't like that. But here we have a game, and it's like a token board. So every time the student do something, they will click and an image will appear at the end. So it's kind of like that hidden image one. And then the first and then, so that kind of stuff. So, and also here, this one is one that we showed yesterday. So it's like, sometimes I fail, and you have the thermometer. And you can actually use that with your students to de-escalate. So I have one example also of one day that I think is good for this de-escalate. So it's like calm down strategy, pop the bubbles. So here it is. So the student will just pop the bubbles, and that's it. And then continue with the next one, pop the bubbles. And this is good if they're like super high right now, how to de-escalate. Let's pop the bubbles. Let's say like some grounding techniques. We have a lot of grounding techniques in the boom store. So that's how you can work behavior in your classroom. And the last one, you can use boom cards pair with other materials. So don't think only boom cards as a separate thing that you use, like only, oh, we're only doing boom cards, or we're only doing something that is technology or digital or remotely. No, you can use it with other materials. And so here I added toys, board game, printables, wide dry erase boards and markers. For example, here we have it in the laptop, projected in this probably TV or smart board. And then here we have the student using the boards with the markers. So that's one way you can use it. Here, another one, they created this beautiful like recyclable Earth Day activity. And also here it's like, oh, click on the orange, and we have actually the orange. So one thing here, many specialists do is like they have the material here and they'll be like, which one is the orange? The student take it and they select the orange and they have that reports data. With book, we have a lot of book companions. So if you have a favorite book, put it in the store to see if in the search bar to see if you can find that book companion. And so here's I have a video that I need to set it up as mute, but this is actually something I did in my practice as a school psychology student. And so it was like a gingerbread house. It was for Christmas Day and my student or my patients went crazy with it. So let me put it on mute. Wow, qué fancy. Sorry, I don't know how to put it on mute. But yeah, like this is how I use it. I had Play-Doh mat, and then they will build the gingerbread house in the boom car, and then we'll do it actually in the using like the actual cookie house. So that's one way. Don't think about boom carts only for remote, only for digital activities. You can pair boom carts with books, with anything you have, printables, etc. So now let's go to the Q&A. We have 9 minutes. So do we have any questions? Going to the Q&A box. Is there a way for me to add audio to boom cart's purchase if the creator did not so? So unfortunately, this is not a feature right now. Our creators will create their boom carts and sell them, but you can request that audio feature for your students to the creator. So here I have actually my screen share. So in this feedback button, you can click it and you can just ask, please add sound or this type of sound, and then just click submit. And most of the times the creator will add it because they're improving their deck and more people can actually benefit from that. So don't be scared to leave feedback for publishers. That's one way you can do it. Is there a lesson online somewhere to learn how to create escape rooms? What are flashlights and Quest in the Castle? Thank you, Candice. So our next section, which is in 18 minutes, we'll be having an intro to creating boom carts. And at the same time, we'll be hosting a creating boom carts masterclass. And I believe we are showing how to create escape room decks. And I do know that we are showing how to create flashlight decks. And I know you asked, what is a flashlight deck? So I actually had that ready because I wanted to show you this. This is one that I use with my students. So it's like, you're at school. So it is actually a social story. So here's like, find the happy emoji, and the student will take the flashlight and just drag it around looking for the answer. So here it is. So kind of that stuff. This is one of the students' favorite. Something I did was with his own face. So his own photo, I added to the background. And then it was like, let's look for yourself. Because yeah, so I was teaching student with autism, and we were teaching the name and that kind of stuff. So we will do like, let's say it was Sam. So where's Sam? Sam. And then he will look for himself. So that's one way. Thank you, Candice. And then can you give us examples of the calendar morning routine boom cards that have already been created? Thank you for that. I also have one example for that, and it's the one that I showed in yeah, here it is. That day is from Live in ABA Pre-K. She already had one for August, September, November from this year. I checked. So I'm going to play so you can see. So you will have good morning, pledge allegiance. And then let's say hello. She have how are you feeling? Like I told you, you can literally have that. And she, as you can see, she added many kids. So you have, yeah, different kids there. And then the actual calendar, we have like she added like a pointer here. Ice cream day. I love this. So happy birthday. You can add as many happy birthdays as you want. And then circle the name of the week. Well, the name. And then what are the months of the year? So you review months. Yesterday was today, tomorrow, today, date is, the weather, all that stuff. And again, that is from live in ABA pre-K. You can look it for August morning meeting or morning circle. Okay, do we have any other questions? Can you share the link for the calendar? So probably one of my colleagues will be doing that. I cannot share it. This is like already like the play link. So can I please rewatch this video? Yes, you will be receiving a recording from this presentation. It will also be uploaded into YouTube. So can you show us how you stay organized? So Tiffany, thank you for that question. Something I do is I use the Boom Learning folders. So let me go back. So here I do have a lot of folders. So what I do is I have them all here. And for this one, I just added back to school 15 ways. And I knew this was the decks that I wanted to show you guys. And then I think I removed some, but yeah, like I also have, for example, the workshop that I was telling you, like taller. And then I removed some that were from my students, but because I had like names. So let's say I have Sam, I'll do like a folder for Sam. While I'm purchasing decks, I'll just add it into the Sam folder, and then I can just assign them from there, like go in here, just assign, and then I can just select the classroom. Or when I go to the classroom, I can just go classroom, assignments, you'll receive the recording. And then you have here all of the folders that you have. So for example, I'm assigning some of the decks that I just showed you, and here they are. So that is one way you can keep organized. We can do an entire webinar about how to keep organized. And yes, so let me see, can you add website links to Boom cards and click on them to go directly? So right now, that is not a feature, and I'll tell you why. It is because Boom Learning is all about privacy, student privacy, security, and that is why that is not a current feature, because we do protect our student privacy. And yeah, but probably it will be in the future. I don't know, but not for now, just because of privacy reasons. You can think it too. You can link to Vimeo videos. So that's why I had on my the videos like this one. This is from Vimeo. So that is adding a link, but it will be only for videos from Vimeo. So thank you all for joining us. So here we finished the Q&A. I wanted to go over again to the goals, and I hope that you know what Boom cards are, that you learn different ways that you can use Boom cards for teaching or therapy, and most importantly, that you continue to reflect how you can use them in your learning and teaching process. So thank you all. Please join us in our next sections. The next one will be creating Boom cards. We'll have the beginners class. We'll have the master class. Remember, this will all be uploaded to YouTube, so you can choose any of the sections and then watch the other one later. So thank you all. Thank you for the great messages. Thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you in our next. Oh, one more thing. Remember to fill out the feedback form. We do read those, as you can see in this one. So remember to do that, and we'll see you in our next section. Bye-bye.